From the Northford Ice Pavilion in Northford, Connecticut, LI Sports Network is proud to present another edition of UNH Chargers Hockey. Patrick Renberg here on play-by-play commentary, ready to give you some live look at this UNH team who is playing for the first time in the new year. Last time they played was back on November 23rd, a 9-3 win at Stevens College. Back for the second semester and ready to take on the Maine Black Bears, who had their first game of the new year just last night, a 6-5 overtime win against Fairfield. They're hoping to complete a weekend sweep of the Connecticut teams. They enter at 8-6-1, number 5 in the AAU D2 rankings. They are looking set to qualify for nationals in early March. As for UNH, they sit in 8th place, sorted by win percentage in the Empire standings, looking to make up some ground in the final 4 games of their regular season. First time Black Bears have played a team from the ECHC this season. Drop moments away. We'll get things started here in Northford. Puck drop and we are underway. Puck sent in deep by the Black Bears. Thrown on net by Henderson. He whiffed on the shot. Sent down the opposite end and get an early icing here with 19:47 on the clock. Chargers enter at 8-8-2 on the season. 2 straight wins to end the fall semester over Eastern Connecticut State and Stevens. And now the referee's going towards center ice. After an icing call, not sure why that's the case, but we'll do it again from the center spot. 13 seconds in, dumped in by James Brady. And the Chargers will get their forecheck going. Caught and handled by Spear. Banked off the glass. Handled for a moment there by Griffin Mansky. And now taken over by his teammate, Ryan O'Shea. Tried to flip it over to Tomasi. Shot was blocked in front. Jaden Sprayer was there on the puck for UNH. Now it's sandwiched right along the near boards in the neutral zone. Henderson trying to poke it free for the visitors. Sprayer dumps in. Circled around to the near side. Met along the half wall. Sent towards net by Brady Tomasi. Shot. Pad save for the Maine goalie, Brandon White. The Falmouth, Maine native coming into tonight's contest, 4.22 goals against average, 8.77 save. As his team has it here behind the goal line. Looking for a centering pass, shot, save! Still loose in the near corner. Over a minute without a whistle. Another pad save in front by Toussaint. And coming away with it here are the Chargers, 3-on-2. Rosa, Madera, back to Rosa, score! An early goal for UNH, it's 1-0. If this Chargers offense is gonna get going, it's gonna be because of those two guys right there, Anthony Rosa and Michael Madera. Rosa, 17 points in his last 5. He has 11 points in his last 2 games. The centerpiece of this front 6 forward group for Coach Jacques, who I spoke with before the game, and he knows that this Maine team's gonna be a challenge tonight. But they get an early goal there via Rosa. The feed from Michael Madera, who also coming in tonight with 17 points in his last 5, fourth in the ECHC in points. Tarosa's first, the league leader in points. So 1-0 Chargers, 17:30 on the clock in the first period. The Black Bears looking to rebound here in the offensive zone. Sent in deep by Bonenfant. Swung around to the opposite side, handled by Goodwin, and poked out here ahead for a moment there, looking for Giancarlo Montanaro, who's back in the lineup. Price, tight angle, shot, save. Still in the zone, but cleared out there by number 8, Aaron Connolly for the Black Bears. Forward from Tewksbury, Massachusetts, has 8 points in his last 5 going into last night. As I mentioned, Maine playing their second game of the new semester, as that one's caught by White in goal. Chargers win the draw. Another glove save out of White. Slap shot from the point coming from O'Shea, the junior from Stony Point, New York. Another face-off win by Monopoly, and a wicked deflection there on the tip. Almost got the best of White and made it 2 for the Chargers. Puck still loose in front. Another rebound. Score! 2-0 New Haven. James Brady with the rebound follow-up. UNH, early lead for the home team. No sign of rust whatsoever. You know, we talked to Coach Jacques maybe 15, 20 minutes before puck drop and said the guys had been skating for a couple weeks since being back on campus, as that one's gloved by Toussaint. But obviously no games, 2 weeks of practice. But they have come out here and punched Maine in the mouth to start this one. Not even 4 minutes in, that one sent deep. Icing's gonna be canceled out. Centered looking for Rosa. It was Madera who fed him from the corner. As Courtney lugs the puck ahead. Didn't reach the offensive zone and too far ahead of Sprayer, who gets the deflection, has a teammate in front. If he could direct it his way, that was Madera, and a lot of open ice. Banked off the boards, but kept in by number 10, Trent Macri. Macri tried to send it in, intercepted there by the Black Bears here with a group, as it's taken right back now to the corner. LeClaire goes for the backhand. Threw it across the face of goal. It was Zach Camp earlier trying to lug it in for the visitors. Dumped in by Morrell. Spun around to the opposite side. Tried to play it to the point for Brown, but intercepted by Maine. Price with speed behind his net, now up ahead. They'll lead the charge. Tried to go opposite side there, and whiffing on the one-timer, Cam Goodwin. Argento got a stick. Dorada with a shot from a tight angle. Maine just looking to put together a couple chances here, and Dorada got a deflection and keeps it in here for the moment. Kept in by Burke at the blue line. And now right back with the Chargers, looking for a breakout pass ahead for Montanaro. but intercepted. In with Davis, shot, gloved. .14:02 in the first period. 2 early goals for the Chargers, courtesy of Anthony Rosa and James Brady. The aforementioned Brady on the puck will dump it in and try to chase it himself. Outnumbered here, 1-on-5. Has some white jerseys coming out to help. Handled at the point, now sent in deep, looking for Monopoly. Fell to his knees, back up now, trying to regain the puck. Hall was able to scoot around him for a minute. As Bonenfant threw it out of the ice. The referees will grab a new puck. There's a block. And coming out of his net there, wow, great heads up play from Toussaint. Outnumbered 2-on-0 on the rush and came out and played the puck. As we get a whistle near the UNH bench. And now some words being exchanged between the visitors and the players on the Chargers end here. Referees will try to break this one up. 13:10 to go in the first period. Face-off won by Maine. Sent in by Henderson. Zawatowski there chasing behind the goal line. Tipped with the hand, and now Sprayer on the breakaway. Sprayer backhand scores! 3 goals in 7.5 minutes. Jaden Sprayer. Kind of a freak play as UNH was clearing. A Black Bear tried to get their hand on the puck, and instead it was like a pass that was tipped up and caught by the receiver getting in behind Sprayer, who had some space on the breakaway and tucked it home on the backhand. As Maine will call a timeout. A surprising start, to say the least. So after that timeout, we'll see if Maine is woken up yet. As we're about 7 minutes and change into this one, and it's all UNH, 3-0 after the goal from Jaden Sprayer. Now the puck picked back up, centered by Madera. Up ahead for Spear. Deeks through one, down the slot, save Toussaint. Kept it at the wall by Henderson. Centered. Ireland couldn't get it out of his skates and took a big hit there from Macri. Unable to keep it in, and now racing in behind the Chargers again. follow-up shot from Sprayer, blocked right in front. Tomasi poked ahead. Sprayer's going to be the first player to get there. A lot of space behind the net. Centered shot, save! Could have been 4. Chargers running on all cylinders right now as Toussaint makes the save. 11:40 in the first. The visitors have barely been able to get a couple mid-quality shots. Really any opportunities. They had a few in front a little while ago, but since then it's been all Chargers. And there's a deflection and a goal. If a comeback is gonna get started, you're gonna need luck like that. Thomas Argento's gonna claim it. A nasty deflection as Maine draws to within 2 goals. It's 3-1 with 11:31 to go in the first. Chargers trying to respond here. It's Price on the puck, trailing back, now cycling deep for Goodwin. Sent in by Burke. Loose in front of Toussaint, and thankfully for the Chargers, picked up by Price. Puck played ahead, but intercepted by Dorada, who whiffed on the pass. And now again, free puck falling for Goodwin. Has a player to his left. Decided to go for the shot, and a save from Brandon White. Black Bears the other way. They have bodies. Cross ice, just past the stick of Aiden Hartwell. Back with it behind the net. Backhanded towards the center. Kept in by Hall. Loose puck falling. Shot, glove save, batted away, and into the path here of Montanaro. Going back and forth, these two teams in the first half of this period. Still so much hockey left. Brought in by Bacchini and frozen by Toussaint. Centered by Connolly. Bacchini in the corner. Connolly tried to find a centering pass. Intercepted by the Chargers. Offsides on the opposite end. Monopoly. Puck trickling right into the crease and almost into the net. Facet handles again for UNH. Around the near side, deking through a whole lot of bodies. Through it center looking for Brady, but taken away. Chipped up ahead for Zawatowski. Henderson sends it in. Caught and played by Toussaint. Dropped off for O'Shea, whose pass went all the way down, took a deflection off a Maine stick, so no icing. And the Chargers will change. Under 9 minutes to play in the first period. Whole lot of action so far. 4 goals and 3 unanswered to start this one from UNH. Most recent goal off a deflection from Thomas Argento has cut the deficit to only 2.
with a lot of hockey left to play. Fired in by Connolly. Macri around the boards. Sprayer will collect and backhand it into the neutral zone. Bouncing puck met by DeFranco. Chipped up ahead. It'll dribble all the way back to Saint. And the Chargers will restart here with Macri. 3-on-2, Rosa. Madera centers. Ireland for DeFranco. Cooper Ireland, the leading point getter for this Black Bears team. They're on the puck down the right wing. Tight shot. Bounced off the head of Toussaint. Didn't see it for a moment. And dropped in that far corner. Kept in by Ireland. Still with it, Ireland. Finds LeClaire. Forced out into the far corner. Maine's offense coming to life in the last couple minutes. But Rosa the other way. 2-on-1. Shot off the bar. Rosa looking for his second. Just misses. Had Sprayer with him on the 2-on-1. Ahead for Montanaro. He'll whack it in. Chasing is Goodwin. Taken back. Brown shot blocked. A courageous block there. Isaac Bonenfant diving right in front of the puck. With Brown walking in down that low slot. Had a lot of space. Brown now back with Maine. Shot. Save, and it was loose for a moment, but covered. Going back to the main goal, Thomas Argento, forward from Acton, Mass, his 6th goal of the season. And probably one of the heavier deflections you'll see in a hockey game. Straight off his knee or maybe lower shin. Argento wins the draw. Quick shot from the Black Bears and frozen again by Toussaint. So slowly some momentum coming back for the visitors. And again, a reminder, UNH hasn't played a game since late November towards the end of the first semester. They've come out looking as strong as ever into the final stretch of the regular season here. Centering pass. Argento looking for his second. Goal comes off its moorings. Maine looking for a goal sign, thinking the puck trickled in before the goal came unhinged. Referees say no goal. Another sweet move there from Thomas Argento. Henderson. Shot was deflected, now bouncing along the blue line. Foot race with Henderson and Brady. Brady edged out there by Zach Camp. As Argento will play it over for Dorada. Shot skipped wide. Bouncing puck in the far corner, now handled by Camp. Send around the perimeter. Brady flipped it for Fassett, and now with Brady. Fassett shielding, centering, loose at the back post. Dorada chopped it towards goal. He'll get a change. Some fresh skaters on for both teams. Under 5 minutes to play in the first period. Puck thrown out of play by Monopoly. Actually, Brady Tomasi, excuse me. Tie up in the dot. Chipped by Macri. And now played by DeFranco, who will send it right towards the net. Sent in and caught by White. We'll have a Chargers offensive zone face-off coming up. After this game, the Chargers only have 3 more on the slate for the regular season. A trip to Fairfield next weekend. After that, they'll host Sacred Heart, and then the weekend after, a trip up to Worcester to play WPI. 2-on-1 from the Bears, nothing, but still with the puck here in the O-zone. Dicing his way through there, Jeremy Zawatoski, who lays a hit at the end of the sequence, and finally scooped up by Toussaint. Maine offensive zone face-off here. Before last night, they had played a game a little bit more recently than UNH had, a game in early December, 13-2 win over Springfield, the dominant one there. Our 4 players got multiple goals. Burke hits one towards the net. Second one hits off the back end of the post. Still cycled in deep. It's with Martin. Backhanded towards goal. Davis was in front. Met by Macri. Backhanded towards the center again. This time intercepted by Montanaro. He'll lug it in around the outside. Gets past one. Walking in. Montanaro gets his own miss and scores! Coast to coast, Giancarlo Montanaro. It's 4-1. Well, you saw Montanaro pick up the puck there right around the blue line after the centering pass. Didn't find anybody in blue. Took it all the way around the outside. Nobody stepped up to pressure him. Got off a shot and got his own rebound and put it home. Montanaro, his second goal of the season, inserted back into the lineup today. Only played 3 games before this one this season. Coach Jock's good to have him back as they extend their lead 4-1 with 3 to go in the first. Tipped ahead by Spear, sent back in by Morrell. Chargers will reset. Turn it over on the forecheck. Backhanded center. Fassett was there. Taken away by Hall, the defenseman leading the charge. Off the shin of Brown. Now falls for Leclerc and squeezed again by Toussaint. One-timer. Might have caught a deflection on its way towards the net. Dorado whiffs. Deflected again. And now away with it, Rosa. Laid it off for Madera. Now back with 19 in white. Spryer regains it. Off the boards in deep. Madera will collect on the near side. Lost an edge. Dorada finds a teammate and now quickly ahead for Argento. From the left side, forced a rather easy save out of Toussaint. Blockered away into the other side. Couple blue jerseys in front, off the post. Still loose, backhanded. Now Dorada has a shot. And the net came off its moorings. Perfect timing if you're a Charger there. 2 blue jerseys in acres of space on the ice right in front of Toussaint. Deflected, has made it way towards goal. Madera tried to collect the puck there as he was entering the zone, but falls all the way back to Brown. Pass was intercepted and taken right back by Rosa. Backhanded towards the slot. Madera was chasing in. Bikini off the post. Poked ahead, 2-on-1. Rosa. Shot, score! Rosa roofs it, and it's 5-1. Well, if you like goals, this period is for you. 5 goals for the home team, 2 for Rosa, his 19th of the season. And a ripper, that one was on the 2-on-1. Decided to just roof it and go above the shoulder of White. Now centered the other way by Spear. Up ahead for a whole slew of white jerseys down the other end. Montanaro, who already has a goal this period. Wins it right back, Montanaro. Shot was blocked. Price with a shot blocked again. Neither of them really reached White there. Ireland up ahead. 20 seconds to go in the period. Burke over for DeFranco. Throws one towards the net. Now Price has it with 5 seconds on the clock. Montanaro has to hurry if he wants to get a shot off. Tried to beat the buzzer. White got a tip on it with the glove. And that'll be it for the first period. 5-1 UNH as we head to the first intermission. An offensive explosion for Coach Jocks and the Chargers. 4-goal lead entering the second period. We'll take a quick break and be back for period number 2 here at the Northford Ice Pavilion. You're watching LI Sports Network. Second period of action from the Northwood Ice Pavilion. Moments away here. As we get the second period started between UNH and Maine. It's the Chargers with a commanding 5-1 lead, excuse me. Maine trying to go back the other way. It's Ireland on the backhand. Gets his rebound and scores! 19 seconds into the period. Cooper Ireland trying to start the comeback here for Maine. It's 5-2. So Cooper Ireland, his 10th goal on the year, 19 points overall. Leads the team in all categories. On the puck again here, tried to center it towards LeClaire. And dumped out, bouncing puck, kept its way in. Courtesy of Henderson. And the Black Bears will continue to go to work. Rosa skips around a couple. Onside, centered it towards Madera. Too high for Madera to handle. And now Spear will control, bank it off the glass, and up ahead for a teammate, LeClaire in stride. LeClaire shot, blockered by Toussaint. Didn't get 100% of it, but just enough to keep it out of the goal. Cross ice, Sprayer dumps in, falls for Madera. .18:37 in the second period. An early period goal from Cooper Ireland has cut the deficit to 3 in the early goings here in the second period. There's a follow-up shot from DeLonzo that got blocked. Dorada, glove save Toussaint. .18:20, Maine wins the draw. DeFranco shot deflected, but skipped wide. Kept in by DeFranco, sent on goal and tipped in! 2 goals for the Black Bears in a matter of minutes. A minute 50 into the second, and it's 5-3. The second deflected goal from the visitors tonight. This time, David Bacchini from Beverly, Mass. His 7th goal on the year. And now a power play, it looks like, coming up for Maine to boot. So a 2-minute minor now for Maine to work with as Connolly surveys from behind the goal. We got things started on the power play for the Black Bears. It's Hall back for Connolly. Now in deep past Davis. Brown pinning it towards the corner. Davis wins it back. Looking for a centering pass. Hall backhanded. Ireland keeps it in. Sends it deep for Argento, who got the first goal of the night for the Black Bears. Ireland sent one on goal. There's a loose stick in the corner. Reclaimed by a Charger. And still circling is Connolly. Ireland whiffed on it, forced back out in the neutral zone. Halfway through the penalty, being served by Giancarlo Montanaro. Ireland centered. Argento couldn't get it out of his skates and whacked clear only as far as Ireland, again working along the blue line. Still pinned along the far corner. Maine has spent almost the entire power play in their zone, and just as I say that, UNH able to clear. And now we've got a whistle. Referee's calling this back towards the Maine bench. We'll see what they say here. So we'll have a center ice face-off. Still 24 seconds left. (16:21) in the second period. Maine maybe one last chance here on the 5-on-4. Around the outside, Bacchini centered. Cleared out by UNH. Rolling puck towards Madera. Back to 5-on-5 hockey. Threw that one off the post. Gloved for a moment, but played by White. You had D'Alonzo now up ahead with Bacchini, who has the most recent goal. Mansky up ahead, tape to tape with Spryer. Spryer shot, Madera crashing in. Couldn't find the rebound. The other way back with Colin D'Alonzo. Centered again. Dorada. Spryer, miscommunication, gave it right to an opponent. O'Shea, the breakout ahead for Madera. We'll get an icing. Draw one by UNH, sent all the way back down, and we'll have another icing. UNH has seen their lead cut in half this period in the first 5 minutes. 2 quick goals from Ireland and Bacchini. And at this point in the season, the Chargers doing anything they can to improve their win percentage, as that's how these standings will be determined for the ECHC Conference Tournament. They right now sit in 8th place, as there's a centering pass that almost found a teammate from Maine. Spryer flips that ahead for Madera. Skipping away, has Rosa on his left, goes for the shot himself. Couldn't get a clean one off, as it's handled by Davis. Tried to spin it off the boards, but sent back in by Sprayer for the Chargers. Mansky, opposite corner, Brady, bouncing shot. Fassett, boxed out there by Hall. Still trying to clear along the near half wall, but intercepted by Fassett and company. New Haven still with the puck in the offensive zone. Laid off for Brady, operating behind. O'Shea one-timer over the net for Fassett now. Still behind the net. Fassett, a lot of traffic in front, and because of that, his shot was blocked there that time by Aiden Hartwell. Platoon swap now for the Black Bears. Almost got beat, but instead a 2-on-1. Spear tried to go cross ice for LeClaire. Taken away, Fassett. One right back by Spear. And Benjamin Spear's entrance intercepted. Macri trying to get it out of his skates. Kind of walked it all the way down the slot. And now the other way with Gabriel LeClaire. LeClaire, Ireland. Pad save. Backhanded by Tomasi. Sent back in deep, opposite way by DeFranco. Ireland centers across the face of goal. DeFranco there to pinch in. Trying to flip it ahead was Tomasi. Montanaro down the right wing. Shot pad save. Montanaro was one of the 5 Chargers who got his name on the goal sheet in period number 1. As there's a giveaway. Ben Spear. Still circling Spear. Patient Leclerc. Toussaint with the save. Eight goals between the two teams as we head towards the halfway point in this one. 12-13 in the second period. Face off to the left of Toussaint, won by the Black Bears, whiffed at by Henderson. Madera almost picked it away. Still hot on the chase and kept in by Sprayer. Up ahead for Argento. Splits the middle. Argento, left wing, cutting in, backhand, couldn't get it on net. And now we'll have a penalty. It looks like coming up against Argento and the Black Bears. So Maine 0 for 1 on the power play. Now New Haven with a chance to go on the 5-on-4 for the first time tonight. Quick whistle. Only 1 second came off the clock. They'll redo it in the circle. The referee will kick out both parties. Sprayer and Connolly will take. Sprayer wins it. Now Rosa controls. Fast shot high over the shoulder of White. Another follow-up bouncing towards the near corner. Sprayer taken down by Hall. And we're going to see a 5-on-3. Sprayer kind of held on to Hall's stick for a little longer than the whistle. As the referees sort this one out, Coach Jacques' club will get ready for a prime opportunity here. 2 men up. Referees still just trying to sort everything out here. Talking to Brandon White in the main goal. Finally ready to get this going. Huge spot here for the Chargers. Giving up 2 goals to start the period. Their lead is 2. Can they extend it here? Sprayer, one-timer. Too far wide. Sprayer again. The net coming dislodged after the one-timer. And Spryer and Bikini exchanging some words after the whistle. Something to keep an eye on as the Chargers will reset here, still on the 5-on-3. Rosa's one-timer lined up just wide. Tomasi keeps it in. Tomasi's shot skips over the bar. Rosa will handle. Through on net wide. Spryer, cross ice. Rosa maneuvering. Rosa looking for Madeira in front, now on the stick of Spryer. 43 seconds on the 5-on-3. Rosa again. And squeezed by White. Zach Camp fell after the play, and some shouts coming from the visitors' bench. Still 34 seconds. Thomas Argento will leave the box then, and it'll become a 5-on-4 for about 20 seconds. One back by DeFranco and shuffled out. Huge play for the Black Bears on the penalty kill. 18 seconds left on the 5-on-3. Montanaro kept in at the blue line. Tomasi. A lot of bodies in front. 5-on-4. Brady throws one on net. Monopoly battling behind. Lost his stick and cleared out. Fassett brings it in. Sam Hall still serving the penalty. It was a double minor, it looks like, so we'll actually have 1 minute and 40 seconds more of a Chargers power play, and that score makes it a 3-goal lead. It's Brady Tomasi making it 6-3 UNH. So 6-3 Chargers. They convert on the power play. Spear centered. Ireland too far behind him. LeClaire with a shot. Ireland fell down after the play. And it looks like we might get another penalty here, this time against UNH. It will be a 2-minute minor against UNH this time. Michael Madeira in the box. Chargers able to clear to start as Brady pressuring the opposition. Swung around near side. Kept in deep by Camp. And now cycled back for him, number 16 in blue. Dorada sent in for Bacchini. Battling with O'Shea. Still poking at it. Now coming out with it are the Black Bears. D'Alonzo swung around. Camp for Dorada, back for Camp. High over the net. In with DeFranco. Puck loose, trying to stuff it home. Are the visitors still unable to best Toussaint? And we've got a delayed penalty. Toussaint came rushing out of his net despite being in his own defensive zone. The puck was just to the left of his net. So now a 4-on-4. It'll be Bacchini. Bacchini in the box for Maine. That ends their power play that lasted a little over a minute. We'll have 56 seconds of 4-on-4 hockey, and then about a minute on the power play again for UNH. Won by Maine. Extra room as Spear sends it forward for Hall, met along the boards by O'Shea. Up ahead with Anthony Rosa. Circling around, and a big hit against Rosa in the far corner. Slow to get up. Maine the other way, Ireland dangling, backhand. Lost his edge as he fired the shot. Easy save for Toussaint. 23 seconds to go on the 4-on-4. Seven minutes to go in the second period. 2 goals for Maine, 1 goal for UNH this period. It's 6-3 Chargers over halfway through this contest. Again, Patrick Redberg here on LI Sports Network, live from the Northford Ice Pavilion. Spryer sent out of the circle. DeFranco deflected again. Davis this time on the tip drill. We've already seen 2 goals from the Black Bears tonight in that fashion. Brown on the puck, 3 seconds to go on the 4-on-4. We'll have a UNH power play for 1 minute and 3 seconds here. Madera taken down with the stick and draws another penalty. After a relatively clean first period, it's penalties galore in the second. Another one issued against Maine. This time Aaron Connolly going to the box. 47 seconds of 5-on-3 hockey. Montanaro looking for a cross-ice pass perhaps. Now back for Montanaro, left it for his defenseman, and Mansky had left his spot along the right side. Fassett will walk it back in. Behind for Mansky. Taken away from Montanaro And flipped out with 10 seconds to go on the 5-on-3. Bacchini will be leaving the box momentarily. 5-on-4 is Fassett. Centered it. Brady was right near the back post. Shot blocked and cleared out. 54 seconds to go on the power play. Maine's penalty kill doing a lot of work this period. Still time for one more rush. Fassett circling. Has some options. Sprayer. Back for Fassett. Cross ice. Had a player down low. Well, it falls for Sprayer. 23 seconds. Escapes the zone. Poked at and now ahead with Colin DeLanzo. The breakaway on the shorthand. And couldn't get off a shot. But that was likely because he was hooked there. Referee has his arm up. If you're a statistician, this might be a tough one to keep track of, keeping track of all these penalties. We got 14 seconds of 4-on-4 before Maine will go back on the power play themselves. It's a 2-minute minor against Brady Tomasi. Deflected and right into the path of Madera. A breakaway on the other side. Madera denied by White. And a whistle. The net dislodged once again. Connolly will leave the box in a couple seconds here. Kept into the UNH zone, but cleared quickly up ahead for Davis. Whistled off sides. And the face-off upcoming will officially start this Maine 5-on-4. Hall along the half wall, deep for Connolly. Ireland one-timer, just past the post. Rebound falls right back to him at the blue line. Another deflected goal in front. What a tip there from Connolly. And he's brought it to within a 2-goal deficit, 6-4. So the most recent UNH penalty comes back to bite him. Tomasi, who hooked DeLonzo there on that shorthanded breakaway, turns into a power play for Maine. They convert. And for Connolly, his 9th goal on the year. Picked up by Monopoly. Fired over the net. Stuck behind White. Loose for Brown. Blockered away. Up ahead by LeClaire. Referee's hand is up for offsides. Maine has to reset. They do. And try to bring it back in. Circling. Fassett was going towards the net and now picks it up behind. Camp, breakout for LeClaire. A lot of white jerseys behind the puck. LeClaire fired one across the goal. Thrown again by DeFranco. And crunched along the neutral zone boards. Argento wins it back for Maine. Puck falls this time for Price. Right side, score! He beats White near side. And the goals continue to fly in, 7-4 UNH. Well, Brady Price, his first goal of the evening, 11th on the season. He had 3 points the last game weekend that the Chargers had back in late November. Continues to deliver on the score sheet as we continue this goal bonanza. 7-4, under 2 minutes in the second period. That one gloved by Toussaint. An 11-goal thriller so far. We still have 20 minutes of the third period up ahead. And Maine played in a 11-goal game last night against Fairfield, a 6-5 overtime win for them in that one. So at this rate, we're probably going to see a couple more goals before the final whistle blows. UNH in 8th place in the Empire, sitting right at 500, ahead of Kutztown, who are in 9th. They would likely be the play-in game, 8 versus 9 in the conference tournament. Lloyd Jacques and company hoping that they can gain some ground on a couple teams ahead of them and maybe avoid that play-in game that's quickly coming up in mid-February in the conference tournament. But after being inactive from games for over 2 months, this UNH team has looked hot so far tonight. There's a shot that spun off the mask of Brandon White. Near corner, Madera. And now lots of bodies on the ice after White was poked at by an opposing player with a stick. We'll see what, if any, penalties come out of this. And the way this second period has gone, you're likely going to see a couple more penalties here. The net also might have come off its moorings in the process. Quickly, just a swarm of players fell on each other in the crease after the whistle. And it's going to be Jaden Spryer going to the box for UNH. As of now, only a 2-minute minor for Spryer. Referee's still talking. Aaron Connolly, the captain from Maine, just having a word. And it looks like he's going to head to the box as well. we'll wait for this one to get sorted out. After this, next weekend, looking ahead for Maine, they've got a 2-game set against Anna Maria before the following weekend, Valentine's Day weekend. They'll play Norwich University to close their regular season out. Next weekend for the Chargers, you're looking at a game against Fairfield M2. They've already played the Division III Fairfield group back in October, but they'll play the M2 squad on the 6th. On the 7th, they'll play host to Sacred Heart University, who they lost to back in mid-November, 2-5 at this arena. And then they'll finish out the season on the 14th up in Worcester against WPI. So 3 games each remaining for both these teams, as the referees just sorting this out with leaders of both teams. Maybe just trying to settle everyone down. It has been a pretty chippy second period after no penalties in the first. Hard to keep track of how many penalties we've had combined in the second. Has to be at least a dozen. Maybe just a warning to both benches that this will not continue in the final 20 minutes. Referee now speaking with Lloyd Jacques on the Chargers bench. Penalty box door is open where Jaden Spryer is sitting. Now Anthony Rosa sitting in the box. Looks like it's just going to be a 5-on-4 with the 2 other penalties not counting against who's on the ice. So 2 minutes on the 5-on-4 for Maine after all that. Only 50 seconds to go in the period, so this will all trickle into the final third period. Diving poke check from Monopoly. Back with it is Maine down the left wing, and Bacchini, one of the goal scorers this period for the visitors, trying to get the power play going in the final seconds. Chipped out by Brady, who's crunched along the Maine bench. Cooper Ireland around the outside. Feeds for Hall, back for Ireland. Some space, shooting lane, a backhanded shot by Bacchini. A lot of blue jerseys in front. And Argento's gonna get called for a tripping here as he dispossessed Griffin Mansky in the corner. Seven seconds to go. We'll have 4-on-4 for a minute and 7 seconds. A full minute to start the third period before UNH goes on the 5-on-4 themselves. Block shot. O'Shea tried to get one off as the final seconds tick away. And that'll be it for the second period. First period is all about goals. Second period, all about penalties. Still a couple goals in there for both teams as we head to the second intermission. 7-4 is your score from the Northford Ice Pavilion. We'll be back for the third and final period here between UNH and Maine here on LI Sports Network. Third period ready to get started here in this matchup between UNH and the University of Maine here on LI Sports Network. A game packed with goals, packed with penalties, as we saw in the second period. Over a dozen penalties between the two teams in period number 2. 11 goals between them so far, and likely a lot more to come in the final 20 seconds here as the referees sort out the penalties that occurred in the final minutes of the second. We'll wait for those to get finalized. We were at 4-on-4 to end the second, and that is where we will begin here in the third. 4-on-4 hockey. After the next 55 seconds or so, it'll be UNH on the 5-on-4 for a little bit. Meanwhile, Luca Monopoly throws one on net. Pushed away by White. Fresh sheet of ice for these two teams to get after it in the final 19:30. UNH looking to make it 3 wins in a row dating back to late November, the last time they played. They've looked fresh, they've looked sharp, despite being off for over 2 months. Lloyd Jacques said that they did practice for a couple weeks leading up to tonight as Toussaint freezes the puck. But they have come out here against a team who is currently 5th in the D2 rankings in EAU, according to My Hockey Rankings. And they have taken complete control over the game. 3 goals unanswered to start the contest. And since then, they've responded after every opposing goal. Every time you thought that the Black Bears were going to inch within 2 goals, within 1 goal, they'd come back with a goal of their own. Blockered away, now quickly ahead, looking for Montanaro, who couldn't get his stick on it, and will have an icing. Head back towards Toussaint. There's a look at James Brady, who's got a goal tonight. .47 seconds of 5-on-4 action for the Chargers before we get back to even strength. And the question is, how long can these two teams keep it that way? Collision at center ice. Fassett with the puck. Regains it around the right side. Taken down by Burke. Dorada able to move it to a teammate. Black Bears clear it all the way down. 20 seconds to go on the penalty. Monopoly tried to throw it cross ice. Intercepted. Montanaro will try to reset here in the neutral zone. 8 seconds to go. Fassett. Cross ice. Too far behind. Connolly was able to feed Argento coming right out of the box. But a great job backtracking there. Brady Price gave it away. Argento, Connolly, score! There's a whistle right as Connolly took the shot. Let's see, Toussaint down in a bit of discomfort. The power play was over. Argento raced out of the box and got the puck. And in the moments after, won the puck right back in the near corner, threw it over for Connolly, who looked like he scored, but the referee's calling it back. Potentially a goalie interference, we'll see. There's a chance right away. Toussaint trying to squeeze it and eventually does get the whistle and hold off the most recent of Maine's chances here. They've come out hot to start this period. A 3-goal deficit is not much in a game like this, where we've seen both these teams score in bunches. Tie up again in the circle. Bacchini handling at the blue line, cycled deep all the way around for Connolly. Centered, Bacchini bouncing and trickles in. Bacchini scores again, 7-5. The lead is only 2 now with 17:48. What a beautiful feed there from Connolly. Kind of backhanded it through his legs. Found Bacchini right on time. Maine going back the other way again. Spear sauced over for Leclerc that zips wide. Rosa giveaway. Ireland's backhand shot deflected towards the corner. Leclerc trying to handle. Brown threw it ahead over the whole group. No icing, says the referee. Suddenly, only a 2-goal game. As Rosa hands off for Brown. Chargers looking for yet another response. Hall ahead, Leclerc tips. Black Bears will get a partial change. Morrell tape-to-tape cross ice with Madera. Shot was deflected. Morrell back there. He'll dump it in deep, but got a big hit from Leclerc at the blue line. Back up on his feet. Trying to defend this rush here from the Black Bears. Follow-up. Argento had a wide open net on the follow-up. Couldn't stuff home the rebound right in front. Spear cycles deep for Argento. Didn't get everything on the pass. Falls for Henderson. He's able to poke it in towards the corner. Henderson again, shot wide. Argento. Puck skipped through the slot for a moment. Madera forces a glove save. And we'll have a face-off with 15:44 to go in the third period. Neither of these teams are strangers to high-scoring thrillers. Maine's last game before the winter break, a 13-2 win over Springfield. UNH a 9-3 win over Stevens. As shot there again saved by White. Fassett angling behind the net, lost an edge. DeFranco poked towards the half wall and kept in, but now taken away by Maine. The other way, 2-on-2. Connolly shot popped high in the air. Bacchini couldn't handle. Burke keeps it in. Big hit there from Fassett on Burke. Mansky too far ahead for Brady. DeFranco will slap it in and allow his team to get a partial change. Under 15 minutes to play in the third period. First goal of the period coming from Bacchini and the Black Bears, his second of the night. and cutting the deficit to 2 goals. Trent Macri tried to go in alone. Montanaro sees him, has to reset before he can get back on side. He'll flip it over to Price. Brady Price has the most recent Chargers goal. Errant pass, Montanaro. Shot was blocked there up front by Bonenfant. Whistle coming in. Next goal in this period is going to tell us a whole lot about where this game's headed. The Chargers can respond with another goal and make it a 3-goal lead. They could be getting out of here with a big win to start this final late season push. If Maine can score here, though, it's a 1-goal game, and who knows what can happen from there. Leclerc pinched along the boards by Macri. Goodwin now battling with Spear. Black Bear still with it at the blue line. It's Hall. Shot deflected, now falls out to the half wall. Spear up for Hall. Stick from Macri, now ahead with Price. Leclerc sandwiched by 2 white jerseys. Back with UNH. Price lost the puck, now regains it in the slot. Tried to find Goodwin, gets it back on his stick, but couldn't maneuver a shot. Tomasi battling with Dorada. Dorada skips away with it. Some space down the left wing. Tracking back was Madera to win the puck back for UNH. Madera, 1-on-4. Glove save from White. Didn't catch it clean. Puck stays in play. Camp intercepted by Madera. Madera and Rosa both on the ice with Spryer. Argento lost the puck, going right at Brown. And now a delayed penalty upcoming against the Chargers. It's going to be David Brown going to the box with a cross-checking call. The biggest chance on the power play tonight. Maine, the chance to bring this to within 1 goal. Started this game down 3-0. 3 unanswered to start things for UNH, and Maine's climbed all the way back here. Still 2-goal deficit. What can they do on the power play? Whacked clear by UNH to start things, 10 seconds in. Davis across through the slot, lays off for Ireland. Cooper Ireland pressured back out into the neutral by James Brady. Hall dumps in. Ireland in deep. Mansky trying to handle it out of the air. O'Shea with a stick. But kept in by Ireland at the point. Going to be a 5-on-3 coming up. White racing over to the bench as the 6th skater heads onto the ice. One-timer Ireland, didn't get all of it. Argento will now circle, and the referee's whistle will blow. 5-on-3 upcoming after another skirmish right in front of Toussaint's net. Ryan O'Shea to the box, who will join Brown. .48 seconds on the 5-on-3 before more 5-on-4 action for Maine. Biggest chance they'll have to get back in this one. DeFranco. Deflected shot. Shot from DeLonzo. Loose, Connolly wraparound. Net came dislodged. He had a step there. Toussaint was reaching back to his left. Tie up on the face-off. Spills toward the far corner. Macri battling with two blue jerseys. It's Maine who comes away with it. 14 seconds to go on the 5-on-3. Moved low. DeFranco. Hit off the helmet of Bacchini. 1 minute, 10 seconds of 5-on-4 action now. Brown out of the box. Connolly. Bacchini scores! Bacchini, a hat trick for number 21. And it's a 1-goal game. So Maine converts on the power play again. And now 2 goals this period. Makes it 7-6. David Bacchini, who entered tonight with 6 goals, now with 9 on the season. He had 2 goals against Springfield right before the holiday break. As White makes a save. He's got 8 points in his last 5 going into this weekend. All the momentum now with the visitors. On the puck is Spear. Cutting in. Spear surveying, throws off a shot, and that will head out of play into the netting. Spear. Cycle deep. LeClaire got past his stick. Brown lifted high into the neutral zone. Bouncing puck for Sprayer. Penalty behind the puck. They might call it here on Bonenfant on the hit against Sprayer. And it looks like they will. 2 minutes to the box. Isaac Bonenfant. And a chance right back for UNH to extend their lead here as we're halfway through the third period. Poked out of harm's way by Connolly to start things off on the penalty kill. Price intercepted by Connolly and almost turned in to his own goal by Toussaint. Avoided a very unlucky scene there as Price enters the zone. Rosa centered it towards Tomasi and now cleared away by the Black Bears. 1:15 to go on the Bonenfant penalty. Spryer shielding against Davis, who's hounding him behind the goal. Dylan Davis on the penalty kill, getting tied up with Spryer. Rosa taken down, falls as he was tripped entering the offensive zone. And we're going to see a 5-on-3. .8:11 to go in the third. Now a tripping call this time against Dylan Davis, who did excellent work only moments before pressuring Spryer as they were trying to break out. But now he'll go to the box, give the Chargers a chance on the 5-on-3. Montanaro bouncing puck, skipped high in the air and somehow didn't fall into the net. 30 seconds. Brady, low save, back with James Brady. Fassett, now in loose and poked home. It's a Chargers goal. The lead is back up to 2, 8-6 UNH. Luca Monopoly with a power play goal for the home team. 8-6, 7:47 at a critical point in this game. Chargers had seen their goal lead fall away. Now back up to a 2-goal advantage now. 8-6 is your score as we head deeper into the third period. Tomasi on the 5-on-4. Bonenfant got a stick. Tomasi able to keep it in. High hit from Bonenfant as Leclerc tries to clear and does. 1 minute to go on the Davis penalty. Rosa circling through. Delayed penalty upcoming. Tried to stuff it home in front. Rosa taken down as the whistle blows. Penalties flying left and right. Rosa down behind the net. Referees trying to just escort everyone back to their benches and away from each other. So after what looked like a couple hits from Maine, it's going to be Michael Madera going to the box for UNH. Maybe after retaliation. There was a delayed penalty as Anthony Rosa was walking the puck up through the neutral zone before he got hit after his shot up close. And that penalty, or at least one of them, is going to now be served by Gabriel Leclerc. A lot of stuff to sort out here for the referees. So neither the Madera or the LeClaire penalty are going to count in terms of how many players are on the ice. Still 5-on-4 out here on the ice. 6:54 to go in the third. Referee's just having a chat with Montanaro and DeFranco, who were towards the back of the referee. Power play continues for the Chargers, 35 seconds. One more rush as Evan Fassett leads it ahead for UNH. Swung around the boards. Whacked at by Burke. Now handled by Fassett, centered for Monopoly. Ten seconds. DeFranco ahead for Dorada. D'Alonzo will just fire one towards net. That should be it for the penalty. Back to 5-on-5 hockey. 6:05 to play. Montanaro deking around one, lost the puck. Falls for Goodwin, bouncing puck in front. Montanaro again taken down. And we're going to have another Maine penalty as Giancarlo Montanaro was cross-checked down onto the ice in that far corner. It's 2 more minutes on the power play for UNH. This time, 2-minute minor against Cam Henderson. Chargers still waiting for their 5th skater. Brady Price now joins the other 4. Maine wins the draw. And Camp able to clear to start the penalty. Spryer taken back by Camp. And backhanded clear again into the neutral zone. Hit in by Rosa. And an offsides at the blue line. 1:36 on the power play. Actually be an icing rather than an offsides. Rosa hit the puck before the red line. Spryer, cross ice, Fassett. Brady Price. Tomasi at the point, whiffed on the pass. Rosa, blocked by Ireland. Now a tie-up in the near corner. Fassett. Spryer with 1 minute to go on the 5-on-4. Cross ice, got through a whole lot of traffic there, trying to reach Price. Just could not go tape to tape. Slapped well clear by Spear. Maine will get a full change. Tomasi pressured by Connolly. Cleared away by Hartwell. Under 5 minutes to play in the third period. 2-goal lead for UNH. Luca Monopoly with the most recent goal for the home team, extending their lead back up to 2 goals. Hartwell keeps it in the zone here on the shorthand. 15 seconds left there on the Henderson penalty. They'll hold it out as far away as they can. Intercepted again here with DeFranco on the shorthand. Shot blockered away. Henderson out of the box. Full strength with 3:41. Another turnover and taken right back by Montanaro. Giancarlo Montanaro scored! That'll put this one away. Montanaro gets his second, and it's 9-6 UNH. What a return this is for Giancarlo Montanaro back into the lineup. A freshman from Trumbull, Connecticut, has already doubled his goals on the season. 2 goals tonight, and the clincher here with 3:35 to go, 9-6 UNH. Still anything can happen, of course, but after a 7-6 score halfway through the third period, the Chargers respond with 2 goals and are looking to make it 3 wins in a row. Stick goes flying. UNH clears the zone. Ahead for Cooper, Ireland. Poke check from O'Shea. Able to keep it in along the blue line now here in the near corner. Cross ice, Madeira works off a shot. High glove save from White. Quick win on the draw. Facet shot goes high. O'Shea cross ice. Intercepted by Hartwell. Dumped in by Brady. Chargers will set up on the forecheck and win it right back. Brady caught and fired. Shot blocked before reaching White. 2:23 to go in the third period. Final minutes here from the Northford Ice Pavilion. Live on LI Sports Network. Zach Camp will lead it in for Maine, trying to get a consolation goal here in the final minutes. Facet sauced over. Price tried to go Forsberg on that one, back to the backhand. Scuffle in front. Somehow Brady's stick fell all the way into the corner. He'll pick that up. And will there be more penalties out of this one? We shall see. And it is going to be Brady, the one going to the box. So that penalty for number 14, Brady, will take him through the rest of this game unless the Black Bears come up with 3 here in the final 96 seconds. Right now, all the players still towards the Black Bears' end, despite it being a 5-on-4. And it is going to be a 5-on-4. Now, in fact, it looks like number 22, Jason Lavoie, skating off. We'll have a 4-on-4. Nobody in the box right now for Maine serving the opposite. Colin DeLonzo, the one in the book for the 2-minute minor. So some 4-on-4 hockey as we bleed out the final 90 seconds here in this matchup. Big collision between Tomasi and Zawatowski there. Zawatowski's helmet goes flying. Gets the home crowd going. Macri lugs it in. Hall going in for a big hit there. Lavoie on the puck. Macri pushes him off. Dumped in by Sam Hall. Brown on the puck behind the net. Loose on the far half wall. Lavoie, now Brady intercepting. Excuse me, Brady Price on the puck. He'll take it out into the neutral zone. 20 seconds. Chargers might just opt to let this clock run out in the final 15 seconds and avoid any antics in the final moments here. And it looks like that is what they will do. Buzzer sounds and a big win for the UNH Chargers, a 9-6 win over the Maine Black Bears, a game that they take here after over 2 months without playing. A long break between games. But they come away with a high-scoring victory here in this one. Score of 9-6. UNH improves to 9-8-2. Maine splits their weekend games down in Connecticut. They'll fall to 8-7-1. They have 2 games against Anna Maria upcoming next weekend. And for the Chargers, it's games against Fairfield and Sacred Heart up next weekend in about 6 days. That'll be it here for us at LI Sports Network, live from the Northford Ice Pavilion. For our entire production team, Patrick Grudberg on play-by-play. Thanks for being with us tonight. Again, your final score here from the NIP. University of New Haven 9, University of Maine 6.